One of the other big challenge out there, which many would like to see that addressed headlong, in different states too, is unemployment.
Okay.
Do you think that, as it is now, how much attention and how much success do you think they can get, say, before this year runs out?
0.
Why 0?
Oh, because nothing is on ground. Nothing is on ground to employ.
No, when you say 0,
because
doesn't that mean that no preparations, nothing whatsoever? Because there has to be preparations before you then bring the people on board and they finally get those jobs.
Outline the jobs, designate them, look at welfare packages, process of engagement, acceptance, orientation. It goes on and it goes on. It doesn't take 1 day, it doesn't take 1 month. On a federal level, even at the state level, we are trying to engage 60 million Nigerians. You see, that's why we...
Are you imagining that the federal government is going to employ 60 million Nigerians?
They should make plan for that.
Employ? They
should make plan for that. Not to employ. Create a leverage. Provide a leverage that can employ certain amount of numbers, and then leverage that can ensure the entrepreneurs employ people. At least create that environment where employment can be made of it. You know, people can be employed and jobs can be created. Government can hire, private firms can hire. But you see, with the language now, you saw that, I don't know who that man is trying to defend the case before the Senate. That language is a signal in the business world. People are watching him from all over the world. What he's trying to establish, you see, guys don't know what you're doing. A government before you gave me a waiver and you're asking me to pay back. That's a signal all over the world. Business people don't like that kind of signal. They really wonder, are you serious? If they come in today and you leave tomorrow, what's going to happen to their investments? You see, that's why I always say, you know, if you don't engage business-minded people, forget about technocrats. If a mechanic can do the job, get the guy to do the job. That's what South Africans and Jewish firms do. Because
when Chamberlain introduced you, he said, amongst other things, you're a young person. So I thought you were also going to look at that call for for inclusion of young persons in the cabinet list. Did that cut it for you? Because there's always been the argument of who is a young person, who is a youth, and who is not a youth. Just the same way you ought to also have the debate, who is a technocrat and who is not a technocrat. Because there's always a thin line between who a technocrat and a politician is. But did the list cut it for you when it comes to having an all-inclusive cabinet?
No, it did not. And I was actually flogging that issue on the internet, on my pages for a long time, and I didn't want to sound like a broken record. Now I've raised it. It didn't go down well with me at all, because you see, they are different. It's a relay race, all right, and the coach will place the runners of each segment based on their ability. Are you following me? Now, this time we are in, this tenure is expected to be a dash. It is not a marathon. 4 years is a dash. Jonathan did not know it was a dash till it was almost, till time was almost up.
I thought many said it was a marathon.
It is not a marathon. You play that kind of game, you lose completely. It's a dash. Now you need the older men are, they have wealth of wisdom. I love that experience and all of that. It's good. You need some young blood. You need some young men and young women who are fired up, who understand the time, especially. They understand the time. They understand the language of people. They understand the nation. They have the strength to go around and do your research for you.
But in terms of building institutions, how much are we doing? Because ultimately, all of these people are supposed to fit into that institution and then build.
The thing about institution was what I mentioned last time I came, the issue of orientation for now. Even yesterday, I put that on my page that in 1984, I was a child, but I got the message clearly: war against indiscipline. My father did not tell me, my mom did not tell me, but I just knew. That was a drive of that government. You know what I'm saying? So, building institutions, we can't begin to, mess people up, arrest people, send queries here and there, because they've been groomed through a period in an institution. So what happens is that I expected new orientation. The president's agenda or his message for Nigeria for now would have been disseminated properly. First of all, So every Nigerian understands, oh, it's fight against corruption, employment for all, blah, 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 blah. And then, because we know he's a man of his words, everybody sits up, and then you're able to, the police is able to work accordingly, the system is able to work, and then you begin to think of how you can build institutions. But if there's no information coming from the authority, with what will you build? So if I run my own private business and there's an information that, look, we should not bribe anybody, as some firms do. If there's a firm I work for, when you walk into the lobby, there's a poster with an envelope, and they say, don't do this. A white envelope, exchange your hands, don't try it. So if someone, I'm working with a representative of the contract owner, tells me, oh boy, said to me, I said, look, because they wrote their cameras, CCTV everywhere, and if you are caught, so I wanted that kind of message. Before you begin to say, okay, fine, look at the law, then let's look at the statement of this administration. This is our watchword. You shouldn't be doing this. You shouldn't be doing that. You'll be able to get the responsible guys off that pool, and then you can begin to build the institutions from there.
Thank you very much indeed, Emmanuel Asangbedo, talking to us about his expectation on this one. We'll take a break. We'll be back in a moment. Don't go away. Well, it's our concluding moment with Emmanuel Asangbedo talking to us about the expectations, the ministerial nominees, the screening. But today, they will go ahead. There are many who thought that it was going to be business unusual, not as usual. But then, these are senators. Many said, look, if you thought that they were going to do maybe what they have not been doing in time past, you may have been wrong. But then there's this Senate committee reports. People are protesting names of nominees who are going to pop up. Were you surprised that that popped up in terms of those who were processing, the names they were processing about, and who knows how it will turn out today?
No, I wasn't surprised. I saw that coming. It was in Rivers State, in regards to our brother Michi. I saw that coming, So the house is not in order. That peaceful coexistence is not there. So I saw it coming, and it doesn't speak well. But politicians, they know how to, raise dust, and then before you know what's going on, they resolve the issues behind closed doors, and this is resolved. But the bottom line is, I would, those who are agitating for, or those who send the petitions down, and even himself, if ex-Governor Rotimi Amechi, never thought of Nigeria, I think from now, he should begin to think of how to let his office, if he finally gets into office as a minister, let it affect people. So, it's I don't know how, as I keep saying, I don't know how our fathers, how they, our big brothers, how they actually, how they handle issues, how they handle people. People management that chaos in Rivers State was shocking. When they were fighting then, and they had to shut down the house, and then even the court, I can't remember now, the court was shut down, for cases and all that. And him being a lawyer,
All right, we'll keep our focus on that today and see what eventually happens when that screening goes down today. Thank you for talking to us today, Emmanuel Asangbedo, Public Affairs Analyst. We'll be back in just a moment. Don't go away.